April from April's Home, and today I'm going to share with you a fun retro recipe here for Mandarin Orange Jell-O Fluff salad. I love making Jell-O Fluff salads for our family dinners as well as different holiday meals and barbecues. They make such a fun side dish. I love how vintage and classic that these look. They're always fun to serve. Let's go ahead and go to the kitchen and I'll share with you this simple recipe. Okay, so let's get started making our Orange Jell-O Fluff salad. I'm making this today for our family dinner. I was going to add this into our Easter dinner, but we had so many sweets that day, I decided to put it off for another week and just have it with this Sunday night's dinner so that we could still enjoy this fun classic side dish. So now I am making a bigger recipe today because I'm serving it to the whole family, but if you'd like, you could easily cut this recipe in half. So for this recipe though, you'll need 2 8-ounce containers of thawed whipped topping or Cool Whip. You'll need 2 3-ounce orange Jell-Os or 1 big 6-ounce package. I'm just using 2 3 ounces today. Also, having the 2 boxes makes it easier to split this recipe in half if you'd like. I have 2 large cans of Mandarin oranges. These are 15-ounce cans. I will be draining those and adding them to this recipe. I also have this jar of Mandarin oranges. You could just get a 1/3 can if you'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and take out some of these Mandarin oranges to garnish the top of this salad, and the rest of them I will go ahead and fold into the salad. I've also got some maraschino cherries off to the side here. I will use those for garnishing the salad at the end. And then this time I chose to use the colored fruity jet puffed mini marshmallows. You can also just use the plain mini marshmallows if you're not a fan of the colorful ones. I haven't used the colorful ones in a long time and I just thought it looked so fun for spring. So I'm going to go ahead and use the fruity fun mini marshmallows today in this recipe. I will also go ahead and leave a link in the comments below for my cherry Jell-O Fluff salad. You can really make this salad with all sorts of different Jell-O flavors and different fruity combinations. So now I'm going to go ahead and heat 1.5 cups of water up, and then we'll go ahead and stir our Jell-O into the hot water. So my 1.5 cups of water is nice and hot, and now I'm going to go ahead and stir in both 3-ounce packets of Jell-O. So here's our first packet and our second packet. And you really want to make sure to stir that thoroughly so it dissolves. I don't like to whip it up too much, just so it doesn't get too many bubbles in it. Just going to make sure that all of that Jell-O dissolves nicely in this container here. So I'm going to keep stirring that, making sure to not let any on the bottom get forgotten. A lot of times the powder will sink to the bottom and it will start hardening up right away. So we've got this here. It's really hot and it's getting nice and dissolved. I also have brought over some ice cubes, and in a minute I will add a few ice cubes to this to cool it down a little quicker. I don't want to add too many ice cubes though, because I don't want it watered down much more than this, because I want it to really thicken up and hold that whipped topping and fruit nicely. Okay, so there we go with that. It's nice and thoroughly mixed. And so now I'm going to go ahead and transfer it to my big mixing bowl here. I will be transferring this to a serving bowl when I'm done mixing it all together. I just really like to use a nice big mixing bowl so I have a room to mix everything together. Okay, and we'll be adding some of those ice cubes here. I'm going to just go ahead and keep stirring this around until they melt and get that cooled down. You could also move this into the fridge for just a little while, just until it cools down but doesn't start thickening. You can see the ice cubes are melting right away. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add both containers of whipped topping, and then I will incorporate that all together. I'm going to go ahead now and add my first container here of thawed Cool Whip or whipped topping. This is just a Great Value brand. And then my next container. And I'm just going to go ahead now and gently incorporate this together until it is thoroughly combined. It is a little tricky at first, but if you just take your time, you can get that. I might switch over to a spoon just until we get this incorporated a little bit more. You definitely want to stir it low so it doesn't splash everywhere, because until the Jell-O hardens up, it's pretty liquid. And you can kind of get this everywhere if you're not careful. Okay, now we have it nice and mixed up there. It's nice and smooth. And I'm not seeing any areas where it's not mixed together. So we've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and drain my Mandarin oranges, and then I'll add those in as well. Okay, so I've drained my Mandarin oranges. I've also reserved 8 of the nicer looking ones to garnish the top later. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in my jars of Mandarin oranges, or my cans I should say. And this little leftover bit here, I've of course reserved some from that. And I'm going to gently fold that in with my spatula, just making sure to get those oranges throughout the salad. And now we're going to go ahead and add our marshmallows. I'll probably start with about half a bag, between half and 3/4 of this bag. Okay, here is the fun part, adding in those beautiful, colorful marshmallows. I've added a little bit more than half the bag. I may add in the whole bag. This bag looks a little bit smaller than some of the bags I've had in the past. But this does look like a pretty good amount. You can see it incorporates nicely to this delicious salad. And again, if you want more fruit, you can add more fruit to this. You can add canned pineapple, canned fruit cocktail. But again, like I said, we're just keeping it simple today with Mandarin oranges. I think I'm going to add just a few more marshmallows here. And I think we'll save the rest to go ahead and garnish the top with when it's all set up. We'll garnish the top of this with the Mandarin oranges, the maraschino cherries, and a few of these pretty colorful marshmallows. Okay, so now it's all stirred up here, and I'm going to transfer this to the serving dish, and then we'll have to let that chill up for a while before we place our garnish on the top. Here is the bowl that I'm going to serve this in. It's a pretty clear iridescent bowl that I found at Walmart a few years back. I just think it's so pretty. I have another one like this that has a little bit more of the grid style, sort of like the diamond plastic, also in the iridescent clear. But I went with this one today. I think it will be really pretty with this salad. So I'm going to go ahead now and transfer the salad into this bowl. And before I put this to chill, I'm going to give this a very gentle stir. That way I don't ruin the edges of this bowl here, just to make sure to bring everything to the top. And there we have it, some delicious Jell-O Fluff. I'll go ahead and let this set up now, and then I'll come back when it's all set up and we can garnish the top and get it ready for family dinner. My Orange Jell-O Fluff salad has set up now, and it's time to get it garnished. I set aside some of the Mandarin oranges that I'll put on the top, and I've also prepared some maraschino cherries for the top. I cut them in half, and then I've laid them on this paper towel. I'm going to kind of soak up some of that extra cherry juice so that it doesn't spread on top of the salad. Sometimes when you put these on without kind of soaking up some of that extra juice, it tends to put red dye around the top of your salad. And I've also got a few of our colorful marshmallows to add to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just arranging the Mandarin oranges around the top of the salad, just in a nice circular pattern here. I think we'll go with 5 of those. Put one of the cherries in the center. We'll do cherries around the outside. Here we go. That looks really pretty so far. And I think I'll add some of these marshmallows to just the inner circle here. Around that center cherry. Not too close to the center, but just enough. So that is how I've decorated the top of our salad here. Of course, you could just be creative with how you want to do that. You could add on, you could reserve some of the Cool Whip and put little dollops of Cool Whip on the top as well. But I think this looks really fun and colorful, and I think it will be perfect for our family dinner. I'll be sure and put this back in the fridge and cover this with saran wrap until we're ready to serve. So that was my recipe for Mandarin Orange Jell-O Fluff salad. A fun, retro, vintage recipe that will be perfect for your next special meal. I would love to know in the comments below if you enjoy Jell-O Fluff salads. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.